Hello there, good afternoon everyone. Welcome to my channel. This is the first upload I'll be doing, and it'll be over something I'm very passionate about in my life, and that would be Dragon Ball Super. Now, for those of you who don't know, a new chapter released literally last week, chapter 69, as it's titled, The Evolution of Planet Cereal, written by Akira Toriyama, art by Toyotaro. Now, there's a bit I'm going to read the chapter, we're going to critique it, I'll give my thoughts on it, and lastly, we'll finish it up to what they could be leading into in the future and whether those ideas are good or bad. Alright, so let's get this started. By the way, the art for the first page of the cover is actually pretty appealing. For example, I'm assuming this is the ship by which our main character will be having for today. However, I'm pretty sure this will be old, not old, but new Planet Cereal, as the old one was probably overran by Bardock and the other Saiyans in their past history. Alright, so page 2. As we can see, he lands down Granola in his little pod. Let's see. So, giving my voice, my best voice action. Welcome back, Granola. Can you fix up the left wing on my ship? It took some damage. Of course. When do you expect to depart again? This little cerulean looks like a fish. And then Granola. I won't have any jobs for a while, so take your time. Okay. So these guys seem pretty chill with Granola, even to fix his ship after just reviving. Literally, and he already has his assistance and every other need of his satisfied. And he goes, please try to take some time off for yourself. Yeah, that's the plan. Then he starts embarking off down into the planet. That and that too. Oh, and some of your top shelf water, please. You got it. Let's see. So it seems as though not much really interesting is happening here yet. Although he does mention Granola right about around here that he's literally over 500 years old, which is pretty staggering considering the fact that there's not many individuals we have met in this series that are that old. There's been a few, we can't discount that, but I mean, besides like mortals like Hit, possibly Frieza, these guys aren't that old. Let's see, anything else interesting in this page? Okay, so he's part of a clan of people that are called the Shugarians. Now, the thing that I want to wonder is that what Granola is as well? I have not read the other chapter beforehand. However, I'm assuming he's not, since he's proclaiming we, and that doesn't include him. So I'm assuming Granola is not that. He's part of the Cerulean people, I'm assuming. And the Shugarians awfully seem very kind to help him, so he gives off a very mercenary Mandalorian kind of vibe. Granola does, considering the fact that he just really just arrived there, and now the Shugarians, as our little friend we just met, is very happy to, more than obliged to help him out. Okay, let's see if there's anything next besides getting his bottle of water and extras for his grandfather. Okay, so Granola takes off. He heads back to his grandfather. Oh, okay, this is an interesting point here. Granola, why don't you live amongst the Shugarians? Granola replies, that city was set up for them by the Heaters. It's not meant for me. Okay, so it seems that our main character here, Granola, feels as though even though his planet's Cerulean, he does not necessarily feel like that is actually targeted for him. Instead, that is made of sort of like a mutual relationship between the Heaters and the Shugarians. and as we have learned, the Heaters seem much more kind of like, I don't want to say mafia, but they're a group of individuals that are very much into having their own type of clan where they're pretty much all about money. However, the highest price tag from what they have learned in the past chapters is knowledge. So we'll see how that works out for them. I kind of have a feeling though it's more like you would see in Star Wars, where there's a main guy at top, you have little slave workers at the bottom that are doing all the work for them, and in return they get protection and their needs met. However, how long this is sustain itself, how long this is last, we will not know yet. There may be conflict, we don't know. We shall see in the future chapters. Alright, moving forward. Let's see. So, seems he's reminiscent about his past planet. 40 years ago was the last time that his original home was actually around, before, I'm assuming it just got ran over or got exploded by Frieza's armies, quote unquote. I'm guessing the Saiyans, Bardock specifically, and his crew. Alright, this next portion. Let's see. After our planet was ravaged by Frieza's army, the Heaters swooped in and started rebuilding. Okay, so that explains that part. The Heaters helped rebuild this planet, but specifically for the Shiarians, not necessarily the Ceruleans and Granola. This probably explains why he feels left out and he feels misplaced. However, I'm not getting the vibe that he's very resilient against them. I feel as though he has a mutual relationship with these Heaters. As we've seen in the past chapters too, they seem only reluctant to help him if it's to get rid of the competition. As mentioned with Frieza, because that was brought up in conversation, that he's still a threat. And Granola, of course, our boy Granola here, does not like Frieza. He despises him and much rather would like to take him out. Okay, so what's next in this chapter? What else will we learn? Okay, the Shigarians had lost their own planet and were roaming through space at the time, so they paid well for this planet. Yikes. Okay. This place became their home, so we decided to move to this mountain. I see. Necessary. Distancing in pursuit of amendable cohabitation. Something like that. Plus, and then wow, look at this view, guys. This artwork by Toyotaro. That's one thing you have to really give him props for, is this artwork. I'm not really a big fan of his storylines or a lot of the technical stuff he gets into matter of with Dragon Ball, but in terms of his artwork, I mean, I am not going to give him any negatives about that. He's done really well when it came to his artwork. Like, look at this view in the mountains in the back. Like, you could just see it very far distancing himself with Granola at an up close shot, even though he's very insignificant to these surroundings in regards to like their size and the deposition. Alright, next. And then to see, this is what he mentions here. I can see my hometown from the top of the mountain, the one Frieza's people destroyed. Ah, that has to suck. You reminiscence on that every day, knowing that Frieza destroyed your home world, wrecked it, and it's only being rebuilt but for someone else and not you. Ah, that has to be hard. It's a reminder of what they did to my planet. That way I'll never forget. Alright, now this does make sense. I mean, this is a daily reminder for him. However, I hope they just don't play this out too much. I mean, we've already heard it a few times. He has this thing against Frieza. I just don't want it to be a repetitive theme. But although Dragon Ball tends to have a tendency to do that, where they play out the same repetitive themes over and over and over, specifically with Vegeta, which I don't even want to get into with him and his bad actions. Alright, and then, yeah, okay, past memories. Well, I mean, I'm hoping this guy's Bardock. I mean, look at these shots too, man. These are some great artwork, specifically on these great apes and the armor. Like, look at the detail that they have on the armor here, man. And like, just him going, Alright. Alright, we have moved on to Beerus and Vegeta and Goku. These boys plant training on where Beerus resides. Alright. Seems like he's in a very interesting conversation with Vegeta here. Since in the previous chapter, I believe Vegeta was interested in learning a new technique of the gods so he can rival Goku, since Ultra Instinct is not the way he wants to go, nor does that not really fit him at all. I mean, if we've seen from Vegeta, he's very aggressive, tactical. He likes to think through his attacks, analyze. So a very critically analytical mind. He's a thinker. He's not really a martial artist like Goku is, although he does know how to fight and combat. It's not really his style, as we've seen even though it's been redone and the lore's changed a bit from the first Bardock film. You can see even as a child he was a very combat soldier. Like that's just how he was. So this whole relying on self movement and his mind becoming one with his body and not being able to just think but just react, that isn't his way of fighting at all. That's not how he's been taught, nor that's not even his style. So I'm kind of glad to give him his new direction. I just don't see how he rivals Goku though without Ultra Instinct. But what do I know? Alright, so Beer starts out. How many planets have you Saiyans destroyed? Hard to say. Fighting was the only way of life for my people. So we had a way of racking up sin after sin. Sin, huh? However, it wasn't until Frieza's clan came along and began using us that the destruction and invasions became business as usual. You're trying to lay all the blame for your wicked ways on Frieza and his people? This is surprising. Not in the least. So in the past, they've always had it to where he's very aggressive and he doesn't want to. He's very reluctant to not put the blame on actually the Saiyans themselves. And as we saw in Dragon Ball Z, he was very much against Frieza. Always gave him the blame. He never really gave him the benefit of the doubt. And why should he? I mean, he ruined his life. However, I do like the sign of maturity, and I really wish he just kept this going with him being finally getting out of that old habit and being much more mature. Because this old him evil ways and self-doubt and his Saiyans past history is really getting old the way they play it out. But I mean, let's keep going. Let's see if there's anything else interesting that happens up. Let's see. Okay, so in his pursuit for power, Vegeta's father built his kingdom atop countless depths. So while Frieza's clan was taking control, and they didn't necessarily need the help, the Saiyans' destruction were sought before that. Okay. So basically, we're gonna sum it up. Vegeta's just saying, well, it was bound to happen. There's nothing much he can do. And his father was not a nice guy. From what he says here, he was not a nice guy. Oh boy, countless deaths. And if we remember from the Broly movie, the film for Dragon Ball Super, the first official DBS film, his father came off, besides being afraid of the Frieza clan, he was very, very much of a prick. As we noticed how the way he treated Broly, and in respect to him, he was right. Broly was a danger to society and the universe. So I can't really fault him for that, but the way he approached it was very bad. Alright, continuing. So was the Saiyans' destiny to be wiped out then? And Vegeta says, I'd say so. Okay, so he's come to grips with that. It was bound to happen. Alright. But this reaction. Beer is saying it's ridiculous. I'm saying it's ridiculous. He confronts Vegeta right head on. It powers up a blast. That's a little weird noise. Oh, okay, so it's not for Vegeta. He just blew up a planet? Oh, yikes. Beerus always can't handle his temper. Alright. Now his next part. They're making it look dramatic, but he just basically just blew up a planet. I mean, nothing much happened here. And I'm assuming that's the Oracle Fish just dancing around. Nothing crazy there. Alright. Oh yeah, so he just broke another decorative planet. Okay, nice phrases here. Just a planet. Nothing too fancy here. I just hate how they make him look so surprised, Goku, when he's seen this countless times. Different characters blow up planets, but okay. Whatever. That's played out a lot. Alright. So here. Yikes. Teaches him a technique. Okay, so Beerus is giving Vegeta's glimpses here of his new technique that he wants to acquire. However, I want to say this is Akai. Akai energy. I don't know how I feel about that. Not a big fan of that, but okay. Because didn't we just see Topo do that in a tournament of power? Okay, so he says, as long as doubt weighs down your soul, this power will never be yours to wield. Doubt, you say? Your own crimes aside, you're feeling guilty for the sins of all Saiyans. That's awfully self-centered of you, mortal. Okay, this thought too. Him feeling the doubt for his past Saiyans. Okay. I really don't like that. Vegeta has progressed so much into his role as a DBZ fighter basically, and he's as a character he's developed so well, and yet they still put these little cliche, character traits attached to him throughout the series repeatedly, and it gets old. Even in the Frieza one, where they play it off like he's Frieza's ally, like I know as a fans we know that, but that he's not that. But I mean, it gets played out way too much, and I wish they would just do away with that. And the way to introduce these conversations, there has to be a new way of writing it. I feel like so far the writing's been pretty bad, especially with this confrontation. Like I like the artwork, don't get me wrong, but the writing is kind of cheesy for me. All right, continuing on. All right, so Vegeta gets squashed, beat up. Ooh, here goes. Here's a fun fact. The one who suggested that Frieza eliminate the Saiyans was me. Yikes. That's a big one. Vegeta, what? Still think it was destiny? You're just gonna accept that? Go on, try me. Obliterate you too? Damn, so Beerus with, with this facial expression. Looks like he's just egging him on, like intentionally trying to get him aroused and angry. Like I think he does mean what he says. Like and as we learned, he was the one that gave Frieza basically the go ahead, you can do it. But the facial expression, he's like, come on, try me. Like, I love that mentality from Beerus. This way of getting Vegeta just to confront him head on, so he can show him whatever it is he's gonna show him. All right, so it looks like our boy Vegeta, he's getting upset. Calls him utter scum. It powers up. Goku, intrigued, stupidity face. We all love this curiosity out of him. He's like, what's he up to? Well, about to see. Our boy Vegeta about to throw hands with Beerus. Alright. So Vegeta, powered up. I'm guessing this is evolution. He